Bulletin. President Tinubu reshuffles cabinet, scraps Niger Delta sports ministries. Senate calls for national summit to address out-of-school children syndrome. An Ogun State governor approves reconstruction of several link roads in Ogun State. Another foreign scene, Trump's campaign accuses UK's Labour Party of interference in US election.
And on the business segment of the news tonight, federal government bans cooking gas export over rising prices. I'll be back with details of these and more in the business segment of the news tonight. I am Siwaladi Fireson.
And from the world of sport, FJ replaces Ministry of Sports Development with National Sport Commission, appoints Sheldiko as chairman. I'll be back with the details of this and another update on sports segment of the news. I am Sheyi Halao. Don't go away.
The only one who can tell you you can't win is you, and you don't have to listen. Remember, you can watch us live on Facebook at OGTV and Ogun State Television, on YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. And for the latest news and reports, check us on this platform. X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. We now begin the news with the conclusion of the FEC meeting held earlier today, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Federal Executive Council have scrapped the Niger Delta Ministry and the Ministry of Sports Development. The decision were taken today at the meeting of the FEC in Abuja, as seen on the X-handle of the Special Advisor Information and Strategy to President Tinubu, Bayo Ononuga. There will now be a Ministry of Regional Development to oversee all the regional developments commissions, such as the Niger Delta Development Commission, Northwest Development Commission, and Southwest Development Commission, and the Northeast Development Commission. The National Sports Commission will take over the role of the Ministry of Sports. The FEC also approved the merger of the Ministry of Tourism with the Ministry of Culture and Creative Economy. Meanwhile, the much-awaited cabinet reshuffle of President Bola Tinubu began on Wednesday with the sacking of 5 ministers and the nomination of 7 new ones for Senate confirmation. The president also reassigned 10 ministers to new ministerial portfolios and appointed 7 new ministers for Senate confirmation. Tinubu nominated Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu as the Minister of State, Foreign Affairs, while Netawe Yiwata as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, officially bringing an end to the tenure of suspended Beta Edo. The president also nominated Magari Dinyagadi as the Minister of Labor and Employment, Jumoke Oduwole as the Minister of Industry, Idi Miha as the Minister for the newly created Livestock Development Ministry, Yusuf Atta as the Minister of State, Housing and Urban Development, and Suwaiba Ahmed as Minister of State Education. The president sacked Ujuken Ohane as Minister of Women Affairs, Lola Adejon as Minister of Tourism, Tahir Maman as Minister of Education, Abdullahi Gazo as Minister of State, Housing and Urban Development, and Jamila Ibrahim as Minister of Youth Development. The president appreciated the outgoing members of the Federal Executive Council for their service to the nation while wishing them the best in their future endeavors. He then charged the newly appointed ministers as well as their reassigned colleagues to see their appointment as a call to serve the nation. He added that all appointees must understand the administration's eagerness and determination to set Nigeria on the path to irreversible growth and investment, the best of their abilities into the actualization of the government priority. Meanwhile, the reassigned ministers are Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, who is now Minister of State, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Morufu Olatunji Alausa, now Minister of Education, and Barrister Bello Muhammad Goroyo, now Minister of State's Work. Honorable Abubakar Momo is now Minister of Regional Development. Uba Megari Amadu, now Minister of State Regional Development. Dr. Doris Uzoka Anete, now Minister of State Finance. Senator John Owan Eno is now Minister of State Trade and Investment, while Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim is now to oversee Ministry of Women Affairs. Others are Ayodele Olawande, now Minister for Youth Development, while Dr. Salako Ishak Adekunle from Ogun State is now Minister of State Health. And back home in Ogun State, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dr. Abeokuta, has approved the reconstruction of Imore Jagun and Idi praying ground to prison to Igbeba Road in Ijebu-Ode local government. He also gave approval for Odilewu Ladeshi Ishiwo Road, all in the Ogun East Senatorial District of the state. Governor Abeokuta stated this during the town hall meeting on the 2025 to 2027 medium-term expenditure framework and 2025 budget held at BC Rodipe Event Center in Ijebu-Ode. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganil has the details.
The town hall meeting for the 2025-2027 medium-term expenditure framework and 2025 budget in Ijebu zone of the state is for the people to have input for proper administration of the next fiscal year. Governor Dr. Abeokuta was represented by the Chief Economic Advisor and Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Abeokuta, noted that his administration, despite the physical pressures of its resources, has also commenced the construction of over 64 kilometers of rural roads across the state. The construction of the rural roads, Governor Abeokuta said, marks another significant step in the administration's ongoing commitment towards expanding infrastructure development, towards rural accessibility and boosting of agricultural productivity in the state.
Despite the fiscal pressures and increasing government spending on social protection, infrastructural investment to promote rural development and economic growth in the state has equally gained attention. Our administration is constructing 64.01 kilometers of rural roads in some select local government areas in the state, including within the Ijebu division.
Abeokuta noted that the construction and imminent completion of the Gateway International Agricargo Airport will position the state as the major logistics hub in the sub-region, while taking advantage of the African Quality Assurance Center developed by the African Export-Import Bank. He added that the infrastructure development programs of his administration are people-oriented.
On social welfare and well-being of the citizenry, we began a development agenda that encompasses health, housing, environment, security, water supply, and women empowerment, with strong indicators reflecting that we have improved on the well-being and welfare of our citizens.
Earlier in his welcome address, the Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Mr. Olaolu Olabinto, disclosed that there were about 377 imports during the last town hall meetings held in 2023, adding that 90%, which represent 340 imports, were included in the budget.
Enhanced human capital, enhanced value chain, enhanced ease of doing business, to enhance productivity and connectivity, healthcare facilities to all Ogun citizens, equity and fairness, and also to promote peaceful coexistence.
While commending the current administration for its development initiatives, the people of Ijebu Zone made their input into the 2025 budget, especially on the state of rural roads, amongst other sectors.
Is Ogidi, Odo Shelu, Itamaro, Imomo, Odo Shimadego, Aton, in Ijebu Northeast local government. Very, very important.
That the government has done extremely well, beginning from 2019 up to date on infrastructure. But the sad aspect of it is little or no attention is paid to maintenance of these roads and culverts.
The governor also responded to the inputs.
But by far the most important is the growth of the economy. And how do you measure economic growth in a particular state? Is first the GDP of that state. Second is the size of the budget. When we came in 2019, the budget was just about 300 and something billion naira. Next year, we are going to get to 1 trillion. And the reason for that is because we're moving forward in the area of internally generated revenue. From 50 billion in IGR in 2020, last year we did 150 billion. And this year, by the grace of God, we will hit 200 billion.
The Gonde of Ososa, Oba Atori Alatishiri, and the Bumawef Agrowiye, Oba Abdurazak Adenuba, among others, commended the present administration for sustaining the town hall meeting initiative. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
And moving away from that story, devoted to the advancement of economic democracy through cooperation, Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited, in collaboration with Ogun State Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, celebrates 2024 International Day of Cooperatives with a theme, Cooperative Build a Better Future for All, held at OOPL Event Hall, Abeokuta. Bolaji Sampson witnessed the ceremony. Here is details of our report.
Ogun State Cooperative Movement has a rich history which dates back to 1952, when the Cooperative Union of Western Nigeria was formed, and in building on such legacy and successes recorded by the founding fathers. 2024 Ogun State Cooperative Day Conference was organized in collaboration with Ogun State Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives. The forum offers another opportunity to take stock of cooperative activities and chart a better channel of enhancing members' economic growth. In attendance were the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, who doubles as the Grand Patron of Ogun State Cooperatives Movement, represented by his Deputy Engineer Noimot Salakoye Dele, President of the Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited, Alhaji Wasiu Olaleye, government functionaries, cooperative leaders, international partners, and relevant stakeholders in the cooperative movement. Over 14,000 registered cooperative organizations are spread across the length and breadth of the state, were said to have greatly helped to bridge the gap of access to wealth creation and distribution among various members and stakeholders.
The contributions of cooperatives to the socio-economic development of Ogun State are immense. Their people-centered model prioritizes the welfare of the community, tackling social inequalities, promoting gender equality, and fostering mutual understanding and respect.
This conference aims to prepare us for next year's celebration of the World International Year of Cooperatives, which was held last in 2012.
The event featured insightful presentations, interactive panel discussions, innovative challenge, and exhibition of cutting-edge solutions designed to inspire and equip participants with knowledge to drive the sustainable change in cooperative movement and beyond.
Cooperative is that there's usually zero failure to pay back. In stark difference to the modern banking system. This is because in a cooperative, we all know one another.
You have a cooperative system which can grant you loans below 10%. So the difference is huge.
Move out and find a very viable cooperative society to join. You know, Rome was not built in a day. We have to start from somewhere.
Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited reaffirms its commitment to promoting cooperative values, enhancing community development, and empowering its members. Bolaji Sampson, OGTV News.
Moving on, the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Ogun State Council, has had a media parliament to discuss the November 16 local government elections with key stakeholders involved in an engaging dialogue. The event, which took place at the Council Secretariat at Okelewa, Abeokuta, is aimed at promoting transparency and accountability in the election process and featured Chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission, Mr. Babatunde Oshibodu, as guest speaker. Adeokuta Oladile completes the report.
As Ogun State gears up for its local government elections, set to elect 20 chairmanship and 236 councillors across the 20 local government areas, the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Ogun State Council, organized a media parliament with key stakeholders. This initiative aims to enhance dialogue between journalists and electoral officials, ensuring accurate coverage and increasing public awareness of the electoral process. Comrade Wale Olanrewaju, Chairman Ogun NUJ, highlights the importance of this partnership in discussing effective strategies for election reporting.
Our democratic system relies heavily on transparency, fairness, and active citizen engagement. The role of the State Independent Electoral Commission is fundamental in facilitating these principles, ensuring that every voice is heard and counted.
Chairman, Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission, OGTV, Mr. Babatunde Oshibodu, in his response to concerns regarding the elections, assured that it will be free and fair.
With the help of the press and the media in general, including social media and all whatnot, we know that we can go very far in ensuring that the people of our state are aware that elections are taking place and also aware of their solemn duty to partake of that process.
It reaffirms the Commission's commitment to transparency and fairness.
Local government elections or elections generally in Nigeria are a work in progress. We have not reached yet by any stretch of the imagination. We can reform the electoral system. I will be the first to admit that it is not perfect. I will be the first to admit that there are several areas where we need reform, and those reforms are possible.
The event was rounded off with a question and answer session where journalists seek clarification on electoral procedures and raised potential challenges. The local government elections will be held on Saturday, 16th of November 2024. Adeokuta Oladile, OGTV News.
The candidate of the All Progressives Congress in November 16, 2024 Ogun local government election in Odeda local government, Dr. Waliat Folashade Adeyemo, has launched a campaign committee. The committee's Director General is Honorable Semiu Bolalawal and will be assisted by various notable leaders of the party in the local government. Chairman of the party in the local government is Honorable Saka Muslumi welcomed all to the event and called for adequate support for the candidate. There were also remarks by ward chairman, women leaders, and youth leader of the party in the local government, all urging members of the committee to work hard at ensuring victory on November 16. In his acceptance speech, the Director General of the campaign committee promised to lead a strong and formidable campaign. Those present at the event include all councillorship candidates and representatives or state chairman of the party, Chief Yemi Sanusi, Senator representing Ogun Central Shoaib Afolabi Salisu, and Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elenide. And still to come on the news, Senate calls for a national summit to resolve out-of-school children syndrome. Details and more reports when we return. Thank you for staying with us. It's good to know you're still there watching OGTV Comprehensive News for the day. In a bid to creating a conducive and attractive learning environment for learners, Ogun State is set to begin major rehabilitation of schools across the 20 local government areas of the state. Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abeokuta, revealed this while inspecting some facilities at Abeokuta Model College in Akiale, Pakbalanto High School and Methodist Comprehensive High School, all in Ewekoro local government area, adding that the inspection was to assess schools that need intervention for reconstruction and rehabilitation, supply of furniture, perimeter, fencing, security, among others. Professor Arigbabo reiterated the Prince Dr. Abiodun-led administration's commitment to providing qualitative and accessible education to its people, affirming that the reconstruction process has begun already. He hinted that the ministry has started supply of furniture and other infrastructural amenities to schools across the state, adding that the developmental process were also being monitored for sustainability. Arigbabo charged learners to be well-behaved and law-abiding, shun vandalizing and adhere strictly to instructions of school authorities, saying this will prevent accidents during the rehabilitation process.
So what we have done today is we have decided to go around some of our schools because His Excellency, the Governor of the state, has said that we should look at buildings and classrooms that need intervention. The intention is to make sure that all the classrooms in our schools are actually in very conducive condition for learning. So today we have been to about 4 schools now. This exercise will continue. I'm doing on-the-spot assessment myself so that we'll be able to write the report and ensure that when contractors are moving in, we're able to tell them exactly what we feel.
On behalf of other learners, the head prefect of Abeokuta Model College, Emmanuel Ogugwa, appreciated the state government for these transformations, promising adherence to instructions and proper manners during the rehabilitation. In an attempt to significantly resolve the syndrome of out-of-school children, the Senate has called for a national summit after briefings with President Bola Tinubu. These resolutions were taken during plenary after the submission of reports of the Committee on Basic Education, Basic and Secondary on the compelling need to tackle the challenges of out-of-school children in Nigeria. The chairman of the committee, Senator Usman Lawa Adamu, disclosed that over 2 million out-of-school children have been enrolled in the last 1 year through the collective efforts of the agencies of the ministry working on out-of-school children education. In a robust debate by over 20 lawmakers, the out-of-school children menace was identified as a time bomb, demanding solutions that transcends that of the federal government alone. While some lawmakers called for a proper handshake between the national and sub-nationals, particularly on the issue of access of the UBEC funds, others senators like Ahmed Lawan raised the idea that significant funds from the 2025 budget be allocated for the sole purpose of tackling the out-of-school challenge. According to the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, out-of-school children have become potential bandits, excavating the need to curb the crisis. The Senate unanimously adopted the resolution for a national summit. The Senate has dismissed a petition by a sacked naval officer seeking reinstatement for lack of merit. The resolution of the Senate followed its consideration and adoption of the report of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct, Public Petitions that investigated the matter. Mr. Ewato Flabert Oluwadolapo petitioned the Senate over alleged wrongful dismissal from the services of the Nigerian Navy in 2022, allegedly without fair hearing and non-payment of his salaries and allowances by the Nigerian Navy. Oluwadolapo urged the Senate to look into the matter and direct the Nigerian Navy to reinstate him and pay all his outstanding salaries and allowances. The chairman of the committee, Senator Neda Imasuen, in his report observed that Mr. Ewato Flobert Oluwadolapo was an officer of the Nigerian Navy from January 2013 until the date of his dismissal was confirmed by the Chief of Naval Staff on 16th June 2022. The committee's recommendation that the Senate should dismiss the petition for lacking in merit was approved by the Senate when it was put to voiced votes by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Some constituency projects facilitated by the senator representing Ogun West Senatorial District, Senator Solomon Olamilekon Adeola, have been inaugurated in Ayetoro, Yewa North Local Government. All Progressives Congress, chieftain, community leaders and people of benefiting communities described the projects as landmark achievements and thanked the senator for bringing dividends of democracy to their doorstep. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
It is another time for the people of Yewa North local government to reap the benefits of their support for the mandate handed over to Senator Solomon Olamilekon Adeola, popularly known as Yayi, in the 10th National Assembly, as several people-oriented projects facilitated by the senator are being inaugurated for their benefits. The inauguration of Primary Health Center and well-equipped ambulance inside the campus of Olabisi Onabanjo University in Ayetoro kick-started the day for other projects in Ayetoro, Yewa North local government. Alaye of Ayetoro then led chiefs, community leaders and people of the town for the inauguration of ultra-modern community hall, which they were highly delighted to receive in the area.
As they join it, is concerned about development of Yewa, Awori and Ogun State.
Nǹkan tí mo kọ́ lára àwọn ó pọ̀ gan, inú aráàlú gan tó dùn sí wọn débi pé in fact we are just rejoicing everywhere, so everybody dùn, Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ máa bá ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n ń ro kan oore pé àwọn fẹ́ dé ní ti dáadáa.
The newly constructed Ọjà Àgbẹ̀ Market Road was also inaugurated before moving over to Government Science College in Ayetoro for the inauguration of a block of 10 classrooms. The students of the college showed their joy and appreciation to the senator as they welcomed the entourage enthusiastically. For the people, the performance of Senator Adeola is unprecedented in the history of representation in the constituency.
It's very unusual. It's unprecedented. We want to appreciate the fact that we are having him as our senator at this particular point in time.
This is a time that we are witnessing in our era that we have not witnessed in a long while. We have a representative at the upper chambers in Abuja that is doing wonders. God has helped us to have and blessed us with Senator Yayi that is doing so much for his people.
If you look at every angle in Ayetoro, we are experiencing this kind of lovely development.
The people also testified that these are life-impacting projects that would change the living condition of all benefiting communities. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
Moving away from that story, regular checkups can help identify health problems early, which can lead to better outcomes and improved chances of recovery. This is just as it would not become a major conduit pipe of financial pressure in view of prevailing economic challenges in assessing proper Medicare. In this report, Abeokuta finds out from medical practitioners the most strategic way of detecting and addressing health issues early. Our report.
A generation ago, people used to see their doctors only when they were sick or dying. Today, preventive healthcare is becoming commonplace as people become more educated and empowered by their own health. People are preemptively seeking medical advice on how to live a healthy lifestyle while also making for first aid, like purchasing blood pressure monitor, sugar level machine, all geared towards knowing their health for early detection of any health issue. This enables them to look for lower health risk and, if possible, prevent such at various conditions or diseases by maintaining a healthy diet, weight, and level of physical activity. Medical doctors are also requesting that patients get regular checkups to help stay on top of their health, while highlighting the importance of prevention as a means to reduce the number of patients requiring medical treatment or surgery.
One of the biggest problems we have in not just Nigeria, I would say sub-Saharan Africa, apart from poverty, is that people don't basically go to the hospital, right? People don't basically go to the hospital. So when they are sick, they tend to, pray to God first, after which they tend to receive advice from people, then they self-medicate. Before then, they when they don't get any solution, then they go meet their pastor, and then they go to chemist also. That's like self-medication before they come to the hospital.
Regular checkups can help find potential health issues before they become a problem. When you see your physicians regularly, they are able to detect health conditions or diseases early, as early detection gives you the best chance for getting the right treatment quickly, avoiding any complication. By getting the correct health services, screening, and treatment, you are taking important steps towards living a longer, healthier life.
There are so many people walking around, coats are moving cups because they don't really know what is actually going on in their body. So I would advise that citizens should always do a periodic medical checkup to know what is going on, so that you can nip some of these things in the bud. They say prevention is better than cure.
It's a link with us, Africans. It's like we take our health with celebrity, we don't take it seriously. And the important medical checkup is very, very vital to our daily living, because one thing that is so certain is that healthy life is a wealthy life. Like they say, health is wealth. That is, the money you gather for yourself is for you, it's for your family, not that you are spending on one ailment or the other.
Medical doctors advise Nigerians to go for medical checkup at least once a year, especially if such individual is 40 years of age or older. People with chronic conditions like diabetes or hypertension and people taking medication should also visit the doctor routinely. Abeokuta, OGTV News.
The Ogun State government has advised residents of flooded areas affected by the recent release of water from Onyo Dam to relocate to higher grounds in line with the earlier warning. Affected areas include Isheri Riverview Estate, Hopik Estate, Arepo, Akute, Alagbole, Orimerumu, and Magboro. The Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Ola Oresanya, stated this in response to the flooding situation in the areas, which was a result of the release of excess water by the Ogun-Osun River Basin Development Authority from the Onyo Dam, while noting that the release of excess water from the dam is unavoidable to avert damage that might lead to unpalatable consequences. Oresanya assured residents of the area that the flood water will start receding significantly from Friday, October 25th, through waterways, watercourses, and canals dredged and provided for that purpose earlier by the Dakbo Abiodun-led administration aimed at ameliorating the problem. He added that the Ogun State government is working assiduously with its Lagos State counterpart and the federal government towards finding lasting solutions to the perennial flooding problems in that area. The Federal Road Safety Corps has unveiled a new mobile application alongside the National Crash Reporting Information System aimed at improving road safety across Nigeria. This initiative represents a significant step forward in the Corps' efforts to implement effective policies and foster a safer monitoring environment. However, responses to the rollout have been mixed. Aderonke Oladele again reports that many respondents expressed concerns about the practicality and effectiveness of these tools in the Nigerian context. Our report.
The total number of road traffic crashes in second quarter of 2023 was 2,967, indicating an increase of 8.5% from the previous quarter, which recorded 2,733, and a 9.6% fall from the 3,282 in the second quarter of 2022. Of all crashes, serious cases stood top in the second quarter of 2023 with 1,919 compared to fatal and minor cases with 756 and 292 respectively. In addition, the three categories of cases increased in the review quarter relative to the preceding quarter. Few years ago, the Federal Road Safety Corps introduced speed limit device to check excessive speed by motorists, but these, however, died prematurely without any corresponding results. Determined to reduce road carnages on Nigerian roads, the Federal Road Safety Corps recently launched a new mobile application and the National Crash Reporting Information System aimed at tackling road traffic accidents and enhancing safety awareness nationwide. This initiative comes in response to alarming statistics revealing that between January and July 2024, there were 2,776 fatalities and 16,000 injuries due to road traffic crashes. The FRSC hopes that these digital platforms will raise awareness among drivers and passengers about the potential causes of this incident.
The Corps has decided to adapt and evolve its operation into the global network service system. On the other hand, the National Crash Reporting Information System is designed to promote a multi-sectoral approach to crash reporting and data storage.
In Ogun State, the sector commander urged the public to engage with the mobile app to promote a culture of safe driving.
The main aim is to reduce road traffic crashes and injuries on our road. So the introduction of the web goes with that of National Crash Report Information System for us to have adequate data, that is data management of RTCs on Nigerian roads. Safety on our road is a collective responsibility. The FRSC believe that we should take personal responsibility for our safety on our roads.
Respondents also expressed their thoughts on the app's practicality and potential impact on road safety.
It has to do with artificial intelligence, AI concept, and if everybody sees it now, the era that we are now is most an era of artificial intelligence. You understand that we're able to at least give you a lot of guidance on what you are doing. So I see it as a welcome development. You understand, this has been happening in an advanced country.
We do this enlightenment by going to public places like the church, mosques, even schools, parks especially, to enlighten them more of these road traffic crashes and the traffic laws that you need to obey. And when you obey all these traffic laws, there is that tendency that if the crash happens, the fatality will be reduced.
The app will also provide services such as eyewitness report, emergency report, black spot, national traffic radio, speed limiter verification, driving school standardization scheme verification, reminder for driver's license, vehicle paper renewal, and emergency contact. Aderonke Oladele, OGTV News.
The federal government has discontinued the prosecution of an official of Binance Holdings Limited, Tigran Gambaryan, on Monday on money laundering related offense. Gambaryan was being tried with his employer Binance before a federal high court in Abuja on a money laundering charge brought against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. On Wednesday, prosecuting lawyer Harry Odagba told the court that the prosecution has decided to withdraw against the second defendant, Gambaryan. Odagba said the prosecution's decision to discontinue further prosecution of the second defendant was informed by his health challenges. She said the prosecution will proceed against the first defendant. The firm, in the absence of the second defendant lawyer to the defendant, was not opposed to the prosecution's decision to withdraw against the second defendant. Ruling Justice Abeokuta granted the prosecution's request and proceeded to discharge Gambaryan from the case. Up next is business news with Tualade Faisal. Do stay with us.
You're welcome to Business News. The federal government has stopped the export of locally produced liquefied petroleum gas, also known as cooking gas, to prioritize domestic supply. The measure, announced by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ekwerikwe Ekpo, will begin November 1st, 2024, and is to tackle the high gas price in Nigeria. This was contained in a statement by the spokesman of the minister, Louis Iba, in Abuja. Iba said the decision was reached after the minister convened a high-level meeting in Abuja with stakeholders to address the skyrocketing price and its attendant hardship on Nigerians.